Hey all, Hoff here. Today we're gonna make my ultimate backyard burger, sure to impress your friends and family at the next barbecue. So what's so special about it? Well, first we're gonna grind my own custom mixture of cuts. Then we'll make my spicy, tangy Firecracker Pickles. And then, oh yeah, this mega creation is gonna get topped off with my Smoken Ghost Mayo. But before we get started, if you could like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, that would be awesome. And you'll get all my content first. So the first thing we'll want to throw together are my Firecracker Pickles. They're best when they're marinating for at least a few hours, but even better overnight.
Did you say firecrackers?
Oh, hey Stubborn Hoff. He's my alter ego. I'm making the perfect 4th of July burger. You a big 4th of July guy?
You bet your ladyfingers I am. Any excuse to blow up. I load up the whiff and kids in the 4x4 and we head down to the mud pond.
Wait, don't you drive a Camaro?
You mean Camara, right? I don't get your accent. Yeah, my 4x4 Camaro with a lift kit, and it's packed with every firework imaginable. We set off zingers, zangers, whip tappers, pop toppers, turtle heads, Jim Dandies, tail chasers, American Psychos, lead bellies, elf hats,
Never heard of those.
Pig snouts, peeping toms, and the finale cakes. Oh, the finale cakes. That's when there's a magical reflection of freedom right off the mud pond. It's so beautiful. It's just like being at Dollywood.
All right, let's make some pickles. On a saucepan over medium heat, we'll add a half a cup of white vinegar, 2 teaspoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon mustard seed, 2 teaspoons Hoff's Dirty Dust seasoning salt, 1 clove minced garlic, 2 tablespoons of fresh dill, and 1 bay leaf. Just cook this until it begins to simmer and the sugar dissolves. While that's warming up, let's go ahead and slice our veggies. It's important to cut them thin so they can quickly absorb the pickling liquid. While you can definitely do this with a knife, I just prefer a mandolin as it's easier and more consistent. Slice about 1 cup of cucumber 1/4 inch thick, then a half a cup of red onion the same thickness. And last, and totally optional, I like to add a thinly sliced habanero to pick up the heat some. If you want to go with ghost peppers, scorpions, or reapers, go for it. Now just pour the hot pickling liquid and stir to make sure the vegetables are fully coated. Let them sit for at least a few hours, but they'll keep in the fridge for up to a week. Now for the really fun part, making our own custom ground burger. There are 3 reasons why grinding your own meat is a game changer for the ultimate burger. Number 1, texture. You just can't replicate freshly ground and formed patties with ground meat that's set in the store many hours to days and longer in your fridge. If you've wondered why certain restaurant burgers melt in your mouth, they probably grind their own meat on site. Number 2, flavor. Choosing to buy ground beef, ground chuck, ground round, or ground sirloin means that not only is the fat content different, but you're locked into one flavor profile of that part of the cow. Grinding your own allows you to mix according to your own taste. Number 3, health and safety. When your meat is ground at a factory or even at a butcher, it's more likely to be exposed to bacteria like E. coli. Grinding your own meat drastically reduces this possibility, so you don't have to overcook your burgers into shoe leather and you can keep them juicy and pink in the middle. So my favorite burger mix is 50% chuck roast, 30% sirloin, and 20% of something a little bit different. Hey Stubbs, what meat makes everything taste better?
Bacon.
That's right. To give this burger more fat and delicious smoky flavor, 20% of it is going to be ground bacon. So we want 6 half-pound patties, which equals 3 pounds of total meat. Using my 50-30-20 breakdown, we'll need 1.5 pounds of chuck, 1 pound of sirloin, and a half a pound of bacon. Make sure to cut them in 1-inch cubes and then mix them up as good as you can. Put them in the freezer for 30 to 45 minutes to let them partially freeze, as they need to be super cold for the grinding process. Now I've had this bad boy here since I like to grind my own meat, not only for burgers, but also for homemade sausage. You don't need to spend this kind of money though. If you have a KitchenAid mixer, you can get a grinder attachment to it. There's inexpensive hand crank grinders, and there's tons of tutorials on how to grind meat in a regular old food processor. If you don't have a grinder like this, don't let that stop you. The meat is partially frozen and it's time to grind. Just push the meat into the grinder till it catches and let the grinder do the work. As the meat comes out, just turn the bowl to evenly distribute. You do not want to pack this down. Beautiful. It's time to form this into patties, but remember, we don't want to overwork this meat. I like to use a burger mold so I can get a consistent thickness and size for even cooking, but it's not necessary. After you've formed all the burgers, use your thumb to press an indentation in the middle of the patty. This keeps your burgers flat while cooking instead of them turning into meat footballs.
So we've got our grill going, but only half of it is smoking hot. The other half is on low. Of course, you can do the same thing on a charcoal grill by moving the coals to one side.
We're not going to season these burgers at all until they're out on the grill, and even then we're only using salt and pepper. These burger patties don't need anything else. I'm starting these off on the hot side of the grill to get a good char, and then I'll move them to a cooler part of the grill to finish up to temp. This flexibility is nice to have, and it also helps with flare-ups to not have the whole grill blazing.
While the burgers are finishing off, let's throw together my Smoken Ghost Mayo. It's so easy and adds a big smoky flavor to your burgers.
Just take a half a cup of your favorite mayonnaise and add 2 to 3 tablespoons of my Smoken Ghost hot sauce. Whisk it together and that's it. So the burgers are ready to take off. I like mine somewhere between medium rare and medium, in the 145 to 155 range, and I don't recommend over 160.
If that's too pink for you, then cook to your liking. At least it'll be a better overcooked burger than the normal overcooked burger you're used to. All right, it's time to assemble these burgers. Hey Stubbs, what kind of cheese you want on your burger? American, of course.
First we've got our brioche bun that I toasted in some butter. Then layer on that Smoken Ghost mayo. Put on some fresh mayo and tomato, lettuce, and our perfectly cooked patty with melted cheese. Our fresh Firecracker Pickles go on next, and top it off with more spicy mayo on the top bun. Perfection!
Wow. This is juicy, smoky, spicy, tangy, sweet, crispy, and packed with flavor. This right here is a celebration on a bun. What do you think of it, Stubbs? Have a great 4th of July, everyone. Keep it spicy and delicious. Please be safe out there and rock out with your Hoff out.